looks than I had initially thought. And I'm kind of a perfectionist too, so I want to make sure that the videos are good, decent quality. So getting the sound and the lighting and capturing everything, it's a work in progress. I'm learning, so bear with me. But kind of what I really wanted to focus on with my channel, of course, fountain pens, but also with self-care, because that is how I kind of started getting into fountain pens, was because I was journaling, and initially I was just journaling. I didn't really have a preference for pens, and then I started watching different YouTube videos on fountain pens, and decided to try some, and little spot there, and I really started to enjoy using fountain pens. So I journal every day. In the morning I get up and I journal, have a cup of coffee, and what I like so much about journaling is that it really helps you to clear your mind, to organize your thoughts, to kind of play back what went on the previous day, kind of be able to go over things, really think about things, analyze things, and it can also help you to better guide the direction that you want your days to go in. Or you can just, do stream of consciousness and just pour your heart out. There's so many great things about journaling, and I have noticed that it has really helped me, and it is a part, very important part, of self-care, and it is something that I advocate for very strongly, because we could all definitely use some care in our lives, and some of us, we don't have a huge support system to rely on. So unfortunately, a lot of the time we have to rely on ourselves, and that's why knowing how to actively engage in self-care is very important. Sometimes it feels like when you're angry or you're upset, or it doesn't even necessarily have to be a negative emotion, but sometimes we can engage in more self-destructive activities, right? So understanding self-care and understanding the self-care principles that work best for you and the self-care activities that work best for you can really improve your quality of life. So I strongly advocate, very strongly, for self-care. Whether that's taking a day off of work for mental health, treating yourself to a massage, or treating yourself to a special meal or a special drink, spending time with someone that you really like, or journaling. It's a great one. So today I have two pens that I want to show you, and like I said, this one, this is called Aubergine, and it's a special edition Lamy AL-star, and I was so excited to unbox it, and I made the video and it was just awful. So I decided not to post it, and I am re-recording it. So unfortunately this is the Lamy AL-star, and this is just an incredible fountain pen for so many reasons, right? It ticks almost every box. It's great for a beginner, it's great for a seasoned professional, and it's great for people who collect. It's great for if you just need something to write a grocery list with. I mean, it's an incredibly versatile pen, and it's so approachable by everyone. So, isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, I love this pen so much. So you see how these colors, they match, right? So you've got your purple, and then your neon yellow green here, and then of course the nib, right? This is a fine. I usually write with fine or extra fine. And then you've got your logo here, and then this, which is a little window, and it helps you to see the level of your ink. Now, I just filled this because I did it in the unboxing video. So, this is a converter. I do not think this came with a converter. No, it didn't. So with this pen, you do need to purchase the converter separately. And this little window right here will show you when you start to run low on ink. The nib it's great. I really like this size nib because it's, and I'm talking about just like the overall size of it, not the fine point, but just the overall size. I got ink on myself, which is completely something that I always do when I'm handling my pens. And then look at the top. Isn't that awesome? So this little like Phillips head indentation here, that's I believe pretty standard on most of the Lamy AL-stars. They look like that. And then I think I even got some ink on the pen itself. I'm a mess. And then you have this little clip here so that you can tuck that in your shirt, your pocket, your lapel, whatever, on your bag. And then you won't lose it. This pen, probably one of my absolute favorites, the Lamy AL-star and the Lamy Safari, because they are very affordably priced and they are very, very approachable. They're wonderful, wonderful pens. So, if you are someone who is just starting out with fountain pens, or if you are someone who you don't want to make a huge investment, this is a very reasonably priced pen, and it's probably, in my opinion, one of the top 3 pens that you can buy in this price range. So this one's about $30, and it's going to be hard to find another pen with this quality and this ease of use in that price range. So I totally 100% would endorse the Lamy, the AL-star, and the Safari. I think the Safari is a little bit less expensive than the AL-star, but they're pretty similar in price. So this one again is a special edition. It's called Aubergine, and that is because it is kind of the color of an aubergine or a eggplant. So you've got your purple and your neon green, and then you could, if you wanted to, tuck it in this. I am not a fan of this thing. I mean, the colors are great, but that's, I would never use that. regards to storing pens, I store most of my pens in little cases. I have 2 cases by Esterbrook, and I will show them at one point. There are certain pens that I do not keep in there because I think it's felt lined, and the felt, I've discovered, can discolor some of the pens that are like plastic, that are like a lighter plastic. So this is my absolute favorite case. And it holds a decent amount of pens. So it's by Billows, and it is so easy to use. You just open this and you just pull this little tab, and these are usually full of pens, right? So here's another All-Star, and this one I think is called Pina Colada. I can't remember. I forgot this one was in here. I should have looked it up before I started recording, but I believe it's called Pina Colada. And again, you put the converter in there, fill it with whatever ink you like. It's got the little see-through window here. As you can see, I've got ink. I don't know if that'll show up. I get ink all over everything. That'll probably show up. What is currently in this pen, I believe, is Lamy ink. Again, it's the ink that's in here, I believe, is Lamy Crystal ink in the color Peridot. Put this over here. These cases, I can't say enough about how much I love these cases. They are so versatile. The only thing that would kind of be something that you would need to be aware of is they don't hold the pen individually, right? So you have a large elastic strap here, so you can hook. Let's see what I'm doing. You can hook the pens in like that, right? So if you don't mind that your pens are kind of touching each other, right? And with these pens, these are kind of rough and tumble, so you wouldn't mind this kind of a setup, right? I mean, obviously, if you had like a $600 pen, you probably wouldn't want them rubbing on each other. But, and there are pen holders that have individual little slots or pieces of elastic, but for the Lamy pens, for plastic, this is perfect. I mean, it's super convenient, and you can maybe squeeze 4 in here. I've done it before. It will fit 3 pens very comfortably. It will fit 4 pens uncomfortably. But so that's 3, 6, 9. Each pouch will hold up to 9 pens, maybe more, depending on exactly the size. But what I really like is just the simplicity of this design. And it's flawless the way that it works. It just goes in, you can zip it up, and then there's no, these never tingle, they don't get caught, they don't twist, they don't snag, they're just perfect. I have, I think, about 8 of these. I had to have one in every color. And they're all wonderful. I love the feel of these. And, well, I put that in there. I don't even know what this is from. But I think I remember liking that alligator, so I took that in there. This is gray and black. There's green, blue, very secure. Everything about this little pouch is, to me, perfect. I absolutely love this pen holder. It is my favorite, and that's why I have so many of them, because they're just wonderful. So, and they can hold, pens, pencils, whatever you want to put in there. And there's also a little, there's like this extra little pouch where you could potentially fit some stuff if it was, small enough. Like once this is full of pens, it is a little bit bulky, so, they'll go in there and you're not going to have a ton of extra room for things. But, one of my favorite cases, hands down. So let's now take a look at we'll take a look here at this pen. So Ferris wheel press, one of my favorite brands. Their pens and their inks are incredible. I love them. This is the Bijou fountain pen, and this particular color is called Echoes of Eaton, which is an awesome name. So again, not an unboxing because I've had this pen for a while, but I just want to show it off. So these pens are made in Canada. And I love how it has the little maple leaf there. That's so cute. So, a little bit of Canadian pride there. And it says right, history. And that's exactly what I do every day. So this little case, cover, whatever you want to call it, sheath, it's made of like a kind of a felt. It's not necessarily heavy duty or luxurious, but it will protect your pen. Now this is very standard for the Bijou, and for a lot of the Ferris wheel press ink. They have this nut here, and this is gold, obviously, and then this color would be the Echoes of Eaton. What I really love about the Ferris wheel pens is just how incredible the nib and this whole design right here, just the filigree and the detail, it's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love this pen. This is I believe it's a fine or an extra fine. And fits nicely in your hand. It's pretty light. Very balanced weight. So, obviously, this part right here is going to be more heavy, obviously. I don't know if it shows on here, but if you look at the tip, the very tip, you can see there's gold around this. So this part of the nib is silver, but then around the tip it's gold, and it's embellishments like that, little details like that. Part of the reason that I love Ferris wheel press so much, I love their pens and I love their ink. They are, a little on the pricier side. This pen is about $100 when I bought it. I think maybe a little bit more, with has been sending emails saying that prices are going to be increasing soon. So obviously, the tariffs are hitting products like this. But, to what extent? Who knows? So if we open this up, you can see that this also, oh, that's interesting. Oh, there's a bubble in there. So this is a converter, and I don't remember what color is in here. I can't remember. Something dark. It is not a Ferris wheel press color in here, though. Ferris wheel press has some fantastic colors. They do some excellent metallic colors, and I love the metallic colors. So, we will take a look at this adorable journal that I got. And I obviously spilled some coffee on it that I didn't realize. I would have cleaned that before I started filming. So it says, "Celebrate today." This is a lay flat journal with 160 pages. And it's a dot grid with page numbers. Oh, it has a table of contents. I didn't even know that. And it's got charming illustrations by Hello Lucky and a host of practical features. I don't use journals with dot grids. I will buy them, especially when they're this cute, but then I won't use them. So, oh my gosh, look at this. He's crying over spilt milk, I guess. Uh-oh, this lemon is not happy. Oh, so here's the table of contents, I guess. I like these pages because they seem extremely absorbent. So, they are not slick at all. They're very, very, very matte. And I worry sometimes when I write on paper like this with a fountain pen because there's some feathering and some bleeding. Oh look, I guess I did write something here about 5 years ago. I was getting all ready to start. And then I probably just decided not to because it's so difficult for me to write on dot grid. I've tried it before because I have some great journals with dot grids, but it does not work for me. I don't like it. I like traditional lined journals, but let's revisit the past. January 1st, 2019. I don't know what I was doing. I mean, it just knocks you over with this gorgeous embellishment. Very, very, very easy to write with. Very approachable. This is one of my favorite pens, and I would highly, highly recommend Ferris wheel pens. Incredible. So now let's look at this Lamy ink. So, there we go. That Lamy has this really interesting design with some of their inks, where they have this little plastic attachment that houses some, I think this is blotting paper, but it's more like a consistency of like a little paper towel. And I typically don't use it, but it is really convenient. It's really nice. I use an actual paper towel because I'm famous for getting ink everywhere. But I really like the design of this bottle. It reminds me of like a bottle of cologne for some reason. So this is, I believe it's a new color that they've released, and it's called Petrol, as in gasoline, and I love this color, but it just appears extremely dark, I think. The nuance is not going to show, I don't think, but let's give it a try. So I'm gonna grab the Lamy AL-star in Aubergine, and I'm going to write you a message. Obviously, it comes out very dark. So, it looks very dark, but there is some nuance to it. It's, like an extremely, extremely dark green. There's a little bit of green in it. There's a little bit of blue in it. It's a very, very, very dark blue-green. I do like it a lot. So, after writing, we want to blot before we close. Perfect. So then, if you're blotting paper, if you use your blotting paper and you don't see any ink transfer, then you know that you're good. And you can close your book, you can close your journal, you can go like that. But often, when you're writing with a fountain pen, you're going to need to blot afterward, unless you just leave it open and let it air dry for a minute or two. So I got these blotting papers. I will probably never use them because they're so adorable. So the set comes with 3 of these little ones, 3 of these designs, and then a large one. And then this, again, is just broken down into the three. These are Esterbrook, and I believe this particular line is called Coffee Monsters. It's very, very cute. That's upside down. There we go. So these are the three different designs. I always have blotting paper with me. If you are going to journal, or if you are going to be writing with a fountain pen on a regular basis, I would really recommend that you get some blotting paper, because otherwise you're just going to have transfer all the time. You're going to have smudging. It can get really messy, and I'm really messy as it is. So, I mean, with the ink, I tend to get it everywhere. So, a little recap. This is the Ferris wheel press Bijou fountain pen, made in Canada. There's a little maple leaf. And this is the Echoes of Eaton. And we'll look at this one more time. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Great weight on this. Balance. Put it back in its little case here. This is the Lamy AL-star special edition Aubergine color. That's just too cool. I couldn't pass that up. And it comes with this case. And then these blotting paper by Esterbrook. Very, very cute. And then this journal, which is adorable. It's obviously very old because I wrote in it 6 years ago. So I don't remember when I got it, but these are so cute. These are actually stickers. So you've got stickers in the front, and then I believe there's stickers in the back too. Yeah, there's more stickers. I really like this Angry Lemon and this milk carton that's just absolutely beside itself over this spilt milk. Very, can't sing the praises of this Billows case. So I have to admit this one is in such great condition and it looks brand new because it practically is. I don't use this one as much as I use the green one and the blue one. Those two I use quite a bit. This one just is kind of a backup. I just wanted one in every color, but I don't tend to use this one very much. So that's why it looks so pristine. But absolutely just a really simple and excellent design. It is so simple, but yet it works so well. Again, probably not the case you'd want if you have some super expensive pens and you don't want them rubbing on each other, but you know, as just like a standard pen case, you just can't go wrong with this. Durable, excellent design, very easy to access, doesn't tangle, doesn't get caught, holds your pens really nicely. It's got an extra little pocket right here in the front. It's got an extra little pocket right here. I highly recommend these cases. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to say that, kind of coming back to the topic of self-care, journaling is something that you kind of work up to. I've been doing this for so long, and it was very hit or miss in the beginning. I didn't just sit down and start writing for an hour every day. I've worked up to that for years, and sometimes I would write one day and then go 2 weeks and not write, and it's little by little by little it became habitual. And if you are hesitant to start journaling because you are struggling with follow through, don't let that stop you, because it really doesn't matter. You can journal one day and then not journal again for a year. It's at your own pace. That's the great thing. It's not like an assignment. There's no due date on it. It's just something that helps you. So if you're feeling stressed out, or if you're super happy about something, or if you want to really analyze how something has affected you, or if you want to disclose something but you're afraid to disclose it to a human being, you can disclose it to your journal. There's just so many great things about journaling, and it is a wonderful form of self-care, and I advocate for it very, very, very strongly. So hopefully I have inspired you to, if nothing